Okay. It's gonna laugh how long it takes me to figure it. Oh no. How long it takes me to figure those out every week. Hi, friends. Okay. Are we on? Okay, that's not in a good location, but we're just gonna have to go with it. We're doing it. Okay. Sound. Thank you. Okay. Okay, now I can see your comments and I can see you. Hi, y'all. Happy Thursday night. Yeah. While you're joining us and while you're having your teammates join us, I want to say that I love this time of year. Okay, I hate this time of year. I just having a conversation with my team, telling them how I'm kind of ready for school to start, like a little bit. Like I love summer and I love my kids staying home, but I also like crave routine and we get a little, and it's partly my fault, right? But we get a little, out of routine, right? Can you relate? Hi, babe. So anyways, I love this time of year, but the thing I love the most about it is the excitement of what's to come in the business, because it's like the transition into like the best quarter of the year, and I love it. So anyways, that's all I have. Actually, I would say like the best 5 months of the year when it comes to sales. Hey, Chrissy, I saw your message today and I have not had a chance to respond. Actually, all of the messages from the past 6 days, I have not had a chance to respond to, and I apologize. But my assistant's out of town, so I'm doing extra work and I'm trying to keep up with messages, and I'm not doing a very good job. So I glanced at it, and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Tomorrow I have a full day of work, which I'm so excited. Who knew you'd be so excited to work? But I'm so excited to work. So welcome to Online Steps to Success. I am so glad that you are here. It's Thursday night. It's 8:30 Central Time. I don't know what time it is where you are, but wherever you're watching from, I'm glad you're watching. My name is Allison Dalkey. Our goal, I always say our because Brian and I, my husband. Hi, Lucy. Lucy's with Brian, my littlest baby. She's not a baby anymore. She's almost 4. Anyways, I got off track. Our biggest goal with Online Steps to Success is for you to dream really big dreams, work smart, make money, and change the world. And our goal, whatever we're talking about, whatever topic comes up, that is always the goal for us, is for you to make those things happen. And tonight is one of those nights that I don't know that you're getting like a 4-step process. These are my notes. Okay, great. I have this, what I want to tell you is just straight from my heart tonight. And I honestly, in full disclosure, I don't know if you've known, I'm just going to tell you. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have tried to make a shift from sort of always having a very like scheduled, exact, this is what we're going to talk about, here's exactly how you do these things, kind of live, to more of a really like, this is from my heart. I've been doing this, I've been in the direct sales world for the past 12 years, almost 12. November will be 12. And I'm crazy passionate about this business opportunity. I think it changes lives, and I think it could change your life, and I think it could change the lives of the people close to you. And so I just, it's all the things. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight is, and a lot of the content of what I share comes from conversations that I've had with my leaders or my team or in coaching calls, and or things that I see on social media sometimes and that I want to address. And last week we talked about, why did it just fly away from me? What did we talk about last week? We talked about, somebody remind me. First point for whoever reminds me. What we talked about. I don't remember. Oh, we talked about consistency and what that looks like. And we had a lot of technical difficulties, but we talked about consistency and what that actually looks like versus what many of you believed the consistency was that I think was very discouraging to you. And so more than anything, I want you to leave however you engage with us, I want you to leave encouraged. So that's always my goal. Not only encouraged, but equipped as well. I want you to feel equipped to move forward in whatever it is you're working towards. So I got to give a shout out to all my YouTubers. Y'all are slamming it tonight. We have a lot of YouTube watchers tonight. That's exciting. And by slamming it, I mean there are 6 of them. It's like way more than we ever usually have on YouTube. So there's 6 of them, and they're all commenting, so they win. No, they don't win. There's no prizes. But tonight, we are going to talk about how literally anything is possible in this business. I was actually at a workshop last night that I'm going to share a little bit about it with you, and then because I think it'd be very beneficial to you. But I was at this workshop, and it was really about how it was called the Bliss 182 workshop. So July 2nd is actually the 182nd day of the year, which is halfway through the year. I don't know if you know that that's why Blink 182 was named Blink 182. But this event is called Bliss 182, and the whole idea of it was we're halfway through the year. You are 6 months into the 12 months of the year. Are you making progress on your goals? Are you closer to your goals than you wanted to be? And if not, why not? And so we did a lot of things. We did some mindful meditation and some mindful planning and a lot of things. But my biggest takeaway from the whole thing was that literally anything is possible. And it's easy to say that. Well, I mean, right? It's much easier said than done. But the thing about this business and this opportunity and what you literally are holding in your hands is that anything is really possible. Like anything that you want to do. And it made me think, hi Heather, I'm so glad you're catching us live too. I really like your emojis, y'all. I really like emojis if you didn't know that. It made me think about when I started, and it's so easy for me to become disconnected from that now because here we are now over a decade later. This is our job. This is what we do, right? And it's easy sometimes to forget all the things that you did to get where you are, or to forget how it felt when you started. And I was talking through this with one of my leaders today, actually, and I said, we were talking about onboarding new team members, and she was like, I've had 14 in the past 3 months, new frontline, which is amazing. She's an incredible recruiter, a really great leader. And she's like, but I only have 2 of them that are really engaged. And I said, sometimes we put the process before the people. I don't know if you guys watch The Prophet, but it's one of my favorite shows. It's about this really incredible businessman named Marcus Lemoine. And his kind of formula and framework for everything he does is people, process, and then product. And it's very easy, I think, sometimes for us to forget that we have to focus on people first and then the process. So we have a new recruit, we have somebody new, and they've just joined, and we're so excited, and we want them to do all the things. We want them to here's what we want you to do. Have your launch party. Announce your business. Make your list. Right? We want them to get involved in the process. But we forget that they're people. They're people with fears. They're people with doubts. They're people who aren't sure about how they feel about direct sales in the first place, right? I don't know. They're worried about what people are going to think. And we sometimes put the process before the people. And so I think one of the things is when you really start to believe that anything is possible with this business, you also have to know that it's really important that you put people before the process. So I just made myself a note. I'm sorry. I'm going to warn you, this is not going to be, for those of you who don't, I'm going to tell you in a minute. I used to be a teacher. That's what I went to school for. That's what I got my degree in, English education specifically. And I love teaching. I think it's part of what I was made to do. But I did not love I didn't love having a boss. I didn't love having somebody else tell me what to do. And I have to constantly remind myself of what that felt like, of what it felt like to go to work, to have to ask for a day off, to have to, well, and I'm going to tell you this quickly. When I signed up for Scentsy, I was looking for something. I had been praying for something. I had no idea what it was that could get me out of my job, but my mom had breast cancer my very first year of teaching. I also had a baby my very first year of teaching. So I become a new mom. My mom battles breast cancer. And it sort of felt like this dream that I had had my whole life. Like I thought, like, I'm going to be a teacher. It's going to be great for raising a family. All the things that I thought very quickly, like, came crashing down on me. I loved teaching, but I did not love the situation that I found myself in. I to this day, one of my biggest regrets is when my mom had her first chemotherapy treatment. I wasn't there. I didn't have enough sick days. I decided I didn't want to live like that. And I'm not saying that your goal is going to be to quit your job and to run your own business, but I am saying that whatever you believe is possible becomes possible. But part of that starts with us. Most of it starts with us. It starts with what you actually believe is true. It starts with what you believe you can actually accomplish. And man, we let that itty bitty crappy committee tell us over and over again that we are not good enough, that we are not smart enough, that we cannot do the things that other people are doing. And then we start watching other people. When we start watching what other people are doing, and we start to compare. And then the voices of doubt and confusion get louder and louder and louder. And it's not okay. Because what it's doing is it's cutting into your belief of what you believe is possible, of what you believe you're capable of. And I just, tonight, I want you to know that whatever you want from your business, from your life, from your situation, it is possible. But it starts with what you believe. And for one, I do truly, truly believe that we don't give enough emphasis. We don't talk enough about mental health, that we don't talk enough about how we all have thoughts that are self-deprecating, that many of us have battled postpartum depression or anxiety, all of the things that reign in our brains. But there are things that you can change about your mind and about the pathways through your brain. But just watching things like this, you're here because you want something, you want a word tonight, you want to be encouraged, maybe you want more knowledge, whatever it is. And those are all good things, but just watching doesn't actually change anything. Because I can tell you all day and all night that you have to believe that you are good enough, that you have to believe that you have what it takes, that I can tell you the things. I can look straight into the screen and pretend that I see your eyes on the other side, and I can say the things to you. But nothing changes until you start to rewire your brain to believe those things. It all starts with belief. Anything is possible in this business, but it has to start with what you believe. So I'm going to rewind to my story a little bit. So I'm in this job and really discouraged that I couldn't be there for my mom during chemotherapy, discouraged that I felt like, I just felt like this burden of guilt whenever I took a day off or when I had a sick baby. Like, it just felt like a lot to me. And I started praying for something, and this opportunity came about, and I thought, okay, I know nothing about sales. I know nothing about leadership. I know nothing about direct sales. Well, why not? For me, I really loved the product, and so I went head in, and I was talking to one of my leaders today, and I was like, the difference between what I see some people that jump in and they go for it, and then other people who they want to. They see the potential. They see the possibility that this could be more for them. man, they let fear stall them out. And they let self-doubt get to them. And we were talking through this, and I was like, man, one of the things that I had that was a gift, I didn't know it at the time, but I went in with a purpose. Like, I'm going to quit my job. And it was kind of centered around trauma. It was centered around, I have a new baby and my mom's going through chemotherapy and all of these things, right? But not everybody has that. A lot of people start their business because they want a discount, they like the product, whatever it might be. But and they see the potential and the possibility. Man, they're scared. And you might be on the other side of this screen tonight feeling scared. And if you're scared, I'm excited for you. Because if fear shows up, if you're feeling fear, if there's self-doubt, if there is something pushing you to stop, if there's something like that feels like resistance so strong, you're on to something good. You know that? Fear often guides us where we're supposed to go. Think about this. For one, anything significant that you have ever done in your life, anything, wasn't it scary? Getting married, battling a disease, having children, Lord Almighty, they're scary, right? Speaking of, yes, my lights. Do you want to say hi real quick and then you have to go? Okay. Having children is scary. Say hi. Hi. Can you say your name? I'm Lucy. This is Lucy. Okay, I love you. Give me a kiss. No. Yes, I have. No. Okay. I'm going to tickle you. Go get a piece of chocolate. Piece of chocolate? Yeah, I bribe my kids. Judge me. And she's the fourth one, so yeah, I bribe them all. Okay. Anything significant you've ever done has been scary. The things that aren't impactful, they're not hard, and they're not scary. So I want you to just sit for a minute with your fear. If you are in that place where you're thinking, yeah, I am scared, like there is something I'm scared of. Maybe you're successful in this business and it's just you going to the next level feels scary. Maybe you just started and you love the possibility, but it feels scary, right? What if you fail? What if you make yourself look like an idiot? What if you make a mistake? Guess what? You will. You will fail at some aspect of this. You will probably look like an idiot at some point. You will make a mistake. It's fine. Get over it. We're all going to make those mistakes. It's okay. You stepping into this and you believing that you can actually achieve what you want through this business, it's not about avoiding missteps. It's not about not doing anything wrong. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having somebody else's business. It's about growing. It's about you growing. Yes, it's about your business growing, but essentially it's about you growing. When I say that, I mean, I've said it so many times and it is the cheesiest thing in the world, but it's just, I don't know anything else that is more true than this. This business it's a personal growth plan with a compensation plan. Like you get paid to grow. You get paid to get a little bit better over and over again, right? And it is so vital that we start to change what we believe about who we are and what we're capable of. And that happens, it starts with you. It starts by changing your mind. Listen, there's things I'm still scared of. We're at a level now where we've hired help. I'm trying to delegate things. Really, for me to go to the next level, there's things I have to let my group go of. And it's scary. It's so scary. You know what's easier? You know it would be easier. And just full disclosure, it would be easier for me to not hire anybody. It would be easier for me to sit and do the comfortable work that I've done for the past 5 or 6 years and just stay. But I don't believe that that's what I'm called to, and I don't believe that's what you're called to either. I don't think you were ever meant to be comfortable. Restful, peaceful, joyful, yes. Comfortable? I don't know. I don't know. I believe that there is this tension, and I call it holy tension. You can call it whatever you want. I believe there's this holy tension that happens as we start to truly grow and grow in a way that impacts other people. When you really get to that place where you want to grow in a way that impacts other people, there is this feeling of holy tension. And that could literally be at whatever phase you're at in this business. Maybe you're leading leaders. Maybe you're just now kind of getting the product out there and learning how to say things the right way and learning how to interact with your clientele. And maybe that's where you're at. Wherever it is, you are growing into a place where you will have more impact. And if you want to have more impact, you have to be willing to be uncomfortable. We have to be willing to step into the tension of growing. So listen, it is all possible. Whatever you're dreaming about, whatever piece that you need, whatever you are searching for through this business, it's possible. But it's going to start in your own mind. It's going to start with the words that you believe about who you are. One of the things that I love, I know some of you are all digital and all the things, and I'm here for digital, but we have lost the gift of writing. And writing is incredibly powerful. When we write, we process and we are mindful. And we walk through too many of our days completely mindless. You're doing actions in your business that you've watched other people do, and so you think that that's right for you. You're not mindfully making a decision about what's the best strategy for you. You're doing what you've watched somebody else do. It's not mindful. But if you would challenge yourself to spend some time writing every day, and listen, go buy a cheap journal. You can buy it like whatever. All the school supplies are out, and it doesn't need to be fancy. Just pick something up and start to write. And at our dream retreats and our dreamer and doer retreats, like one of the things I encourage people to do is write. And I always give people like stare at. Well, I make people write. They're like right in front of me, and sometimes they like stare at me like this. It doesn't scare me. I'm not scared of it because I used to teach English, so I used to watch kids just like stare at papers like, what do I say? But it's not necessarily about having anything profound to say. It's not about keeping a journal. It's not about anything about that. It's about being mindful. As we write, we become mindful of the things that are happening in our head. We're not just mindlessly scrolling and mindlessly going through our day. We're actually taking time to process. And that processing, even if you never look at it again, that processing can truly change who you are and what you believe. So one of my challenges to you would be, one, we've got to start changing our minds. And I'm going to give you a tip for that in just a minute. But the other thing is, I think that we need to start being more mindful. And we can start being more mindful just by writing. It's a simple thing to write. But it can literally change who you are and what you believe. Many of you know that I had a double mastectomy in December of 2016. I mentioned that my mom has had breast cancer. She's a 10 plus year breast cancer survivor. She's amazing. And she carries both BRCA1 and 2 mutations. So that meant that our family all, was encouraged to be tested. We went through genetic counseling. We did all the things. And so I found out when I was about 27 that I carried both mutations as well. So we had another baby, our fourth baby. It's not on baby anymore. And there came a time when I decided it was wise for me, after lots of preventative screening and just trying to weigh the options of, do I want to do this preventative screening the rest of my life? Do I want to do something more drastic? It's a whole story. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing. But anyways, I had a double mastectomy. The recovery of that for me, not only was it physically healing, but it was emotionally healing too. And it was something I needed. I had become a workaholic. I had become addicted to what I could do. and who I could serve. And while there's time and place for those things, I had gone too far. And one of the things that I learned in the process of recovery was that the world spun regardless of whether I could sit up on my own or not. People got fed, things were taken care of. And there's a humbling in that, and there's a weightiness to that as well. But one of the ways that I started to heal emotionally was by writing. And I picked up this thing called Morning Pages. And literally, the guide is basically write every morning. You write 3 pages every morning. And it doesn't have to make sense. You're not performing for anyone. No one's going to read it. It could be like, I feel like crap and whatever initially. But the goal is to start to be mindful of what's happening in your mind. Oftentimes, we become discouraged about our business. We become discouraged about our circumstances. We become discouraged about where we're going or where we're not going because we're not mindful of what we're actually thinking about. If we could take the time to process our thoughts, so much could change in your business. You wouldn't just do because you saw somebody else do. You'd actually be mindful of the decisions you're making, right? So that would be one of my challenges to you. 1, we've got to change our mind. And 2, we've got to be more mindful. So I want to go back to the changing your mind thing. I talked a little bit in the beginning about this itty bitty crappy committee that lies to us. It tells us we're not good enough. It tells us that we're stupid, that we're not pretty enough, that somebody else is doing better. Ooh, I went through a season when all I could do was watch what other people were doing. And I wasn't trying to. It's just, it was the thing that bothered me the most. And I was just constantly comparing myself to what everybody else was doing. You know what I had to do? A friend and I had this conversation today over on Instagram. We were talking in messages. She said, I just feel warmed by social media right now. And I said, are you scrolling? And she said, yeah. I'm like, stop it. Stop it. Stop. Like, if you feel worn by it, it is time to stop. It means you have lost the mindfulness of it. Or you need to look at who you're following. You need to reevaluate what you're letting into your mind. It all matters. And if you're feeling envious, if you're feeling jealous, if you are comparing over and over again, stop it. Stop doing that. Listen, there was a season when I just had to unfollow people, and not because I didn't love them. I loved them a lot, but I couldn't stop comparing myself. And that is not a healthy place to be. It's just not. So unfollow. You don't have to see it if it's getting to you. We have so much more power over what we consume than we allow ourselves to take in. We just think, oh, well, this is just what I'm seeing. No, you need to regulate that crap. You need to go in and say, is this something I need to be seeing? Is this something that I need to be processing? Or do I need to sit for a minute and actually figure out what's in my own daggum head? Sometimes we just need to figure out what we're actually thinking. We have gotten so far away from who we are and what we believe because we're just letting everybody else dictate that for us. And it's not okay. And it's those kind of thoughts, this constant comparison and just doing things because somebody else is doing all of those things that really cause us to lose our belief in what is possible. And I don't want you to lose that belief. I want you to know that wherever you are, whatever you're facing, whatever season your business is in, whatever you want from this, it is possible. It's possible. But you have to believe that. Honestly, knowledge is not power. My friend Stacey Johnson says this. Knowledge is not power. Right? That was like a Reading Rainbow commercial, like knowledge is power. It's not. Application is what's powerful. So I can tell you all day long that you are good, that you are worthy, that you are capable, that you have gifts and talents, that you can succeed in this business if you would step into it and do it your way. I can tell you it all day long, and that's knowledge. But it changes nothing if you don't apply it, if you don't start believing it. So if we want to believe that anything's possible, We have to change our mind about what we believe. So I'm going to, two things I'm challenging to you. One, I'm challenging you to write. I would really love, even if it's for a week, what if you just wrote words on a page for a week and zero purpose? This is not a writing prompt. Nothing, just to be mindful of what is in your head. It could be about your business. It could be about your spouse. It could be about whatever. What you eat for lunch. I don't care. But what are you actually thinking about? Do you even know? And then I really want you to do some digging. Some of you have stopped believing that it's possible. You've let the lies and the doubt and the self-deprecating talk tear you down. Listen, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it because you have so much more in you. And you've got to be tired of it. Aren't you tired of believing the lies? Of living in the doubt? So stop. One of the best ways that I know to do this is to write down the lies that you're believing. Start writing them down. What are those thoughts that captivate you? What are those thoughts that worry you, that push anxiety and fear into your mind? What are those thoughts? What are you believing about who you are and what you're capable of? For me, for so long, it was that I was not good enough. Somebody else could do it better. I didn't really have what it took. And listen, those lies, who do they serve? Nobody. They're not serving you. They're stalling you out. They're serving the enemy. You were created for so much more. And here's the deal. Part of this process of you growing, of you changing your mind about what you believe, of you starting to be mindful of what you're thinking about, all of this process of growth probably means that you're going to change some things in your business. And it's probably time for some of you to change some things in your business because you're doing the same crap you've done forever, and some of it's not working. And some of it is not giving you a return on your investment or your time, and you are sucked dry and you are tired. But you don't know how to change it because you don't even know what you believe. You don't even know what you're thinking about. Listen, all of this can change. You have to start by changing your mind. We cannot change our mind if we don't know what we're believing. So write them down. Write them down. Here's what I'd love for you to do. This gets me really excited. I just thought of this and I'm very excited about it. If you are going to Austin, if I am going to perchance see you in Austin, yes, I want to hug your neck. Yes, I want to encourage you, all the things. But what I'd love to do, I'd love to see your lies. And next to your lies, I would love to see the actual truth. It is not an easy thing to do, to not only identify the lies that you're believing, but also to then negate them with truth. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to feel hard. But I also believe that it's some of the best work that you could possibly ever do. And once you, here, I'm just going to show you. You do this however you want. But you just get a piece of paper and write lies and truth on it, and start with the lies. And I don't care if you cross it out. I don't care if you put a giant X through it. I want you to put truth beside it. And then when you write the truth, I don't want you to just write it. I want you to speak it out loud. It makes me emotional to think about it because your words have so much power, the power of life and death. But I'm going to tell you right now, it is harder to say them than it is to write them. It is so powerful to start to speak truth over yourself. And if you can get your spouse on board, if you get your best friend on board, just say, hey, every once in a while, will you speak these truths over me? Will you remind me who I am? It changes what you believe. And it changes what you believe is possible. I had a kind of, I would say, a spiritual moment recently where we just got back from Mexico. We had done this huge dreamers and doers retreat. It was very outside of my comfort zone, and but something I really felt like I was supposed to do, but it scared the crap out of me. Remember, fear is often the indicator that we are on the right path. Scared the crap out of me, and we came home and I was battling a lot of like, I don't know if I can do that again. I don't know if I really have the emotional capacity to carry that weight from other women. Like, I don't know if I can. And we were at church and I felt worn. And there is this song by Hillsong that's, I don't actually know what it's called, but the chorus goes something to the effect of, I'm chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. And for the first time ever, I had a really hard time saying the words out loud because I wasn't sure that I believed them. And I stood there feeling very humble and out of control in the sense that I realized that the work that I was being asked to do and the way that I was being asked to encourage people would be so much bigger than me and more than me, and that I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. And some of you just need to know that you have been chosen, that you are not going to ever be left, and that you are who God says you are. And man, saying things out loud sometimes, it's hard because it literally starts to change the pathways of your brain. And it's so incredibly powerful. It will also be hard for you to do both of these things, for you to identify your lies and replace them with truth, but then also to start to be mindful and right, because the things that grow us, the things that challenge us, the things that push us towards more are always the hardest things. Always. The things that you're called to, the things that you're supposed to be doing, that might be getting out of debt, that might be taking your family on a vacation for the first time ever to create these like beautiful memories. It might be caring for an elderly family member. Whatever it is you're being called into right now, you might be fighting for your life. The things that actually matter, the things that make an impact on the world are hard. It won't ever stop being hard. Your business, as it grows and evolves and changes, there'll be a weightiness to it because it matters. And do you know why it matters the most? Because not only does it make crazy big dreams possible for you, but it makes crazy big dreams possible for anybody else. What you're doing matters. And anything is possible with this business. You have got to change the way you think, got to change what you believe, and you've got to start being mindful of not only your business and all the things that are happening in it, but of yourself, of your heart, of your soul, of your health. All of those things matter more than you could possibly know in your business. And if you're stalled out, or you're frustrated, or you're tired, it's time to be mindful. It's And to listen to the thoughts in your head, get them out, process them, go to therapy. You guys, therapy is one of the best things that's ever happened in my life, and I cannot recommend it enough. So there's my pitch there. And then identify the lies that you're believing. Move into truth. If I get to see you, I want to see your lies and your truth. Like, put it in your pocket, fold it up. I want to see it. Because the lies of the enemy, the lies that resistance throws at us are so much more powerful than you know, and they are a crock of crap. They're crap. You are a masterpiece. I know that is hard to hear. I know that is hard to process. But you are a masterpiece, created to do good work. I believe this is good work. I believe that anything is possible through it. It might just be time for you to change your mind and to get mindful. So those are my challenges to you. Lies, replace them with truth, and speak them out loud. Speak the truth out loud. And I promise it'll be hard. And start being mindful. If that's a week of writing 3 pages every day, then do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my own challenge, and I'm going to share in stories. One of the things I'll just be fully honest with you. I watch other people do stories, and I'm like, I should really do that. I should really do that. And then I let fear tell me that I'm dumb. So I guess there's no better way to combat fear than through challenge. So I will be sharing my 3 pages every day for the next week, and sharing some stories on Facebook and Instagram. So there you have it. It makes me nervous saying that, but I'll do it. Now we have accountability. So I want to know if you're in. Like, are you in? Listen, it doesn't have to be pretty notebook. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be anything. It could be like an old binder you have from when you were in college. I don't care. Whatever it is, just start writing. And we're going to be mindful, and we're going to change our minds, and we're going to speak truth, not only to ourselves, but we're going to start to speak truth to each other. It matters. It'll change your business. It will change who you are. And I think we'll all be a little different at the end of this 7 days. So I love y'all. Thanks for joining me. I will say I've tried to decide if I'm going to go live next Thursday or not. We'll be in Austin. I have a meeting until 6:45 Central Time, so I would normally go live. Well, I do my team huddle at 8, and then we're live at 8:30. So I'm just trying to decide if it's going to be too much for me. Because I do want to share while we're there, but I don't know. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted. In the past, I've always gone live while we've been there, so I probably shouldn't break this streak. But I also want to be really mindful of my body and my emotions, and it's a lot. It's a big week, and so I want to be mindful of that. So there you have it. I'm going to post tomorrow, and I'll link to my page too, because that's probably where I'll be sharing on stories. And I'm going to ask you to commit over there to the challenge of writing 3 pages every day and being mindful, and then identifying lies and changing our mind, speaking truth. So I'll share all the details. So if you had a team member miss this, or somebody that you think would benefit from this, the recording will be up in a minute, and then they can go back and watch it, and we'll have a challenge tomorrow. So love y'all. Thanks for joining me. Like, it means more than you know, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.